All right. Today, Goldzen reacts. First time I've done a reaction video. I kind of want to do like reaction videos. I feel like the first time I see something, I'm like, ooh, maybe I should react to it and have my thoughts on it. Just, I think goggle boxing is more popular now. Like, how many times you watch someone watching someone, then watching someone? Like, why not? It's actually quite fascinating. I think getting someone's reaction to something is pretty cool, I think. Like say if I watch something and I'm like, I wonder what such and such reckons about it. That's why I guess you watch reaction videos. I don't know. But what are we doing? Let's fucking post this shit and we'll watch it, eh? Just gonna send it. I'm doing lots of thaumaturgy, by the way, on my alchemists, and I'm not selling the blasphemites. I'm kind of saving them up for like the next season for some weird reason. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's have a look, eh? Here it is. Undermine revealed. WoW cast. What is it? 13 minutes. Alright, cool. I like this casino, man. That looks cool. I reckon it's the raid. It's got to be the raid.
Hello and welcome to WoWcast. Today we're diving deeper underground into the next content
Vampire
update for
lady.
the War Within, Undermined. Joining me today are two developers from the team who helped bring this update to life. Please introduce yourselves.
This
Hi,
chick's
I'm David
definite
Hollings. I'm a game
vampire
designer
lady,
who focuses
man.
primarily on
You see her, she got
battleground and
the
arena
canine
maps.
teeth coming out. I don't know.
I'm Mark Collada.
Some
I'm an
reason I
assistant
find that
quest
quite
designer
attractive, but-
and the point for the Undermined update.
Thank you for joining us today. Let's jump right in.
Yeah,
What
she's a
made
vampire,
Undermine
this
the
chick.
perfect location for this major update?
Undermine is a location that we've seen throughout the lore of World of Warcraft for quite a while, both in manuals back from 1999. I think it was just like a
really?
little location at the south of the map, to Cataclysm and seeing it in gossip text and other interactions with goblins. So for us, it didn't make a lot of sense to put it in the first 4 zones, but it certainly makes a lot of
Man,
sense
that,
to put it
that
here.
looks sick.
Another thing that we really wanted to do when we were looking at Undermine was goblins. Goblins, of course,
That looked like
are
the
this
entrance,
zany, creative, chaotic race that we have in World of Warcraft, and we really haven't seen a lot of development
There you go,
in
the
their
crafters,
culture
come
and
on
who they
now.
are, their stories. And so this is our way of making sure that, like, hey, players, we want to give you more stories that are based in cultures that we have not yet seen in the world, but then also make sure that we are connecting it back to the larger story
I'd get that
as a
mount,
whole within
for
the
sure,
World
if
Soul
that's a
Saga
mount.
and especially the War Within. For us, at least, we get to do really cool stuff. We get to interface with the 4 different cartels, the Bilgewater, Blackwater, Steamweedle, and Venture Co. And each one of them and their leaders, as we've got to know throughout World of Warcraft. So we have Monty Gaslow for
Venture
Bilgewater,
Co, I
Marin
reckon, would be
Noggenfogger
the
for
one I go
Steamweedle,
for.
Baron
If to
Revelgaz
choose.
for Blackwater. Don't worry, if you've been killing goblins in Booty Bay, you'll be fine there.
My rep.
Yeah. And then Venture Co, not a cartel, but you'll see what we have in store for them.
The car looks
Normally
sick.
antagonists, but much like everything with goblins, they can shift their allegiances.
It's probably gonna be
based
like
on whatever it is that
a
they
zone
choose to.
specific
And we'll explain
mount.
that
Like
more
you wouldn't be
in
able to
the
ride it in
I'm
the
so
real
excited to
world.
learn more about the goblins and
doubt
their
it.
crazy antics. Speaking of the cartels, if we partner with the cartels, what do we get from that?
Man, I hope this is not like fucking what do you call it? Like you know how you get the Weaver's buff in Ash Kahet? How you got to pick the one and it gives. What if these had different like profession traits? And oh man, that would suck. But if there's any profession traits, I reckon it's in the Venture Co for sure.
So the experience that you have with an Undermine will change based on the different cartels you ally with. So if you decide to go with Blackwater, Baron Revelgaz will be the one blabbing at you in World Quest in his very awesome, what is a pirate goblin sort of voice.
Oh, pirate
and you'll
goblin.
go around
yeah,
and
yeah.
do different things
That's
for
what we like.
the Blackwater cartel. And with that, you will also be able to unlock customizations for your car, different transmogs, toys, sort of the general things that you would expect to come out of a
It's all
friendship
noise,
reputation
boys,
that
don't
you're
look at
earning
it.
throughout the experience.
Speaking of cars, This new vehicle system drive was mentioned in the Warcraft Direct recently. David, do you have more information on this?
I do, yeah. DRIVE, which stands for Dynamic and Revolutionary Improvements to Vehicular Experiences, is going to be the new way that you get around Undermine. It's roughly 3 to 5 times faster than a ground mount and a little faster than skywriting at full speed.
City.
I think once people really get a feel for that speed, I guarantee people will really start to see just how fast this car is pretty quick.
How does...
My worry is like getting used to that speed and then going back to the normal ground mounts when we realize that these mounts aren't like allowed outside of Undermine. That's going to piss me off. I think that'll piss everyone off.
Progression work with the vehicles?
Right, so you'll get your car from Nanny Tallulah, and she's gonna send you on some shipping and handling activities to gain some currency and get some new parts for your ride, and you'll be able to customize your ride, whether you get new colors, make it faster, or even change how it drifts. You'll be able to make it your own. I don't mind a grind. Throttle control is going to be extremely important when you're trying to control your car around those like really tight turns of the Undermine.
Also, we do have timekeeper races that players can go and challenge themselves to 4 courses. We have both the forward and the reverse course, and then we wanted to see how you decide to make it your own with other players. If you want to do your montages as you're taking a drift in front of the hotel and put it to your favorite music, and please do, right? Like, we really want to see how people make this sort of like an experience that they're getting into themselves.
All right, now let's switch gears and let's talk about delves. Hey, don't make fun of my pun, okay?
There will be 2 new delves, Excavation Site 9 and Side Street Sluice.
I wonder if the introducing delves are going to pump the price of all the Kyle of Katie Swarm and Gloomfathom, all those rare reagents, the ones that get turned into bloody tinderboxes. I wonder if they're going to go up in price or down because there'd be more supply.
As well as new variants of goblin-themed delves for the majority of the War Within delves. There'll also be a new Zekfir-style encounter as well that's going to be hosting all new rewards.
Oh,
Still haven't even done
Do you have an example of one of the rewards?
There will be a new mount, the Gobtrotter mount, with new customization options as well, including a gold variant version for the challenge mode.
Ooh, gold variant. Fuck. Why do you do this?
Oh, similar to like the Void one that's out right now. If you
my colors, man. Black and gold, black and gold.
Can you tell us more about Side Street Sluice and Excavation Site 9?
So Side Street Sluice takes place in the sewers of Undermine, and you will get to see what Dark Fuse is trying to do in the sewers, what control they're exerting within the space. So
there's like an
the
underground
other sort of antics
city.
of
That's
goblins
cool.
Away from the public eye and their machinations within the sewers. And Excavation Site 9 takes place in a new section behind Opportunity Point at the south of where we're going in the Ring Deeps. In it, you're going to see sort of like void corruption overtaking Titan ruins to sort of show this eternal conflict we have seen through the history of World of Warcraft of Titans versus void. Within it, of course, you will go and see why it is called Excavation Site 9 with the goblin-themed antics that are down there.
Oh, this is a delve too.
It is a super cool environmental storytelling sort of space.
Okay.
So is our trusty sidekick still Bran Bronzebeard?
Our trusty sidekick is still Bran Bronzebeard, yes. So we decided to go with Bran for the entirety of the War Within, as he is a character people have grown fond of early on.
Man, I still haven't even maxed out Bran, even though it's one of my season 1 goals. I've stopped doing delves, man, a bit like everyone else. It's probably why the reagent prices are going up. Unreal.
On in season 1 with all of his meme potential about webs and Nerubians.
They should just keep him for the whole
and also
expansion.
It gives us an opportunity to rethink what a sort of expansion level companion will be instead of season over season constantly changing and forcing people to relearn the mechanics, the abilities, sort of the kit that Bran has. Also, within Season 2 and at the launch of the Undermined update, Bran will be receiving a new tank specialization. So if you're a healer, you no longer have to feel that you need to spec change into a...
That's pretty cool, man, I guess. Because they didn't have tank, and I've always wanted tank so that I can spank.
Role that isn't the one that you're connected to. He'll be a ranged tank, so he has a shield and a gun, and then a new set of abilities that he will receive for that. Not only that, but we also have goblin curios that we're putting in there, goblin-themed curios. So a dwarf, such as Brand Bronzebeard, with sort of his personality and how sort of larger than life he is, what is he going to do when he's interacting with rockets and bombs and malfunctioning devices throughout the delving experience? There is a special curio that you can receive from doing the challenge encounter.
Oh.
And
reckon
it'll
they'll talk
allow
about it? I don't
Bran
know,
to
hopefully.
call down a mech that you then, as a player, can pilot in the
No.
delve.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so it's going to just tie into sort of the goblin fantasy of everything we
I
have
want that
within
mount, bro.
Undermine.
That looks sick. I like all
Now
the
let's
mech
talk
mounts.
about Season 2, which starts 1 week after the Undermine update. Let's go straight into PvP.
Yeah, so there's going to be a new arena called the Cage of Carnage, and it's unlike any arena we've ever done before. We took a look at the map pool and we noticed that we were missing a couple smaller maps. So we decided to make this map a little bit more cutthroat. Players will be dropped in through a trap door and separated only by a metal platform that'll have ramps on every corner. It's going
Reminds
to
me
be
of Wild
quite
Star
a tight
so
fit.
much,
It
man.
should make for some explosive gameplay.
It's like the
Well,
Wild
that's
Star
what
devs
PvP
are in
players
there
can
back
expect.
in...
What can PvE players expect in Season 2?
Yeah, so there's going to be a new dungeon called Operation Floodgate. It's going to be a 4-boss dungeon that's taking place in the Ringing Deeps. It's going to be at that big dam that you might have seen, and we are preventing Ventrico and Dark Fuse from knocking over that dam and flooding the region. So players can enter this dungeon immediately, but Mythic Plus will come out once the season begins.
Yeah,
the new Mythic
not
Plus
much
dungeon
for
rotation
PvP,
will
to be
include
honest.
the new dungeon
I've done it
Operation
once or
Floodgate,
twice.
as well as the 4
I
remaining War Within
don't really
dungeons.
like it.
But it will
My
also
ping
include
is
some older
shit in
dungeons,
Australia,
the Mechagon
so
Workshop, the
I get
Motherlode,
smashed.
and the Theater of Pain.
Yep. Sorry about Theater of Pain. You're going to be farming my trinkets yet again. I know Soul Letting is one of the very popular ones that people went after.
Yeah, I farmed that on my
And
wall.
of course, with Mechagon, we do have our lovely Cogwheel Skill Shot trinket that I'm really excited to see people use again, especially when they're fighting other motorcycles in Undermine and the raid itself.
Now let's talk about the new raid, Liberation of Undermine.
Yeah, I'm gonna play
Liberation
demo lock
of
for
Undermine.
Season 2,
It is going
man.
to be an 8-boss raid. It will unlock a week after the Undermined update goes out. And then we have our story mode also unlocking a week after that. So we saw success with Nerebar Palace and Queen Ansorek in
I still haven't even completed the raid in Season 1.
terms of people going into the story mode. You get to experience the encounter, you get to see the cinematics.
I haven't done shit.
And for us, Gallywix's encounter is a really core part of the story that we are telling within the Undermined update. And so, of course,
This Gallywix is like the king
wanted
of
to make sure that
goblins,
we gave you that story
apparently.
mode so you can go in there as well.
He's like the king.
In regards to this 8-boss raid,
top G.
things in Undermine happens the Goblin way. And the raid itself is very much a way with which you can see what zany, crazy encounters our encounter designers cooked up and did it in a way that's very goblin-y. A couple notable examples that I would call out is we have the Cauldron of Carnage that is going to have a gorilla versus a mechanical Tyrannosaurus that are going to fight each other, kind of a reference. And we have the
That's
big
pretty
tank that does the massive J-turn flame shooting out of it. And then we have our DJ boss, who compels you by the power of sound in order to listen to.
Oh no, that's gonna be like Shadowlands again. Like how everyone's like, move to the left, move to the right, shimmy shimmy.
Gallywix and not to anyone else. And then lastly, of course, the Gallywix encounter. Once people see that mech and also what the mythic mount will be, I feel a lot of people are going to be.
Dude, look at that. Is that a mount? Or is that Gallywix the boss? That looks sick. Oh man, I'll pay for that.
Trying to see how they can get
That's
the cutting
a mount.
edge.
Oh, he's in
is
it.
Wild.
I'm very excited about the
That's
Carnage
definitely
fight
the mount.
because that T-Rex, the Mechasaur, that also has a chance to drop a mount. And as a collector, I want that mount so bad.
I want that. I want that mount. Like I don't collect mounts, but anything mech, like you see, I got the crowd pummeler in that. Any mech mounts, I want them. I collect mech mounts.
Coolest mount in the game, in my opinion.
That's cool.
Are there any other rewards we can look out for?
Well, with a new raid comes new gear sets and set bonuses, and these set bonuses are going to be themed around the Magnificent Galagio. Whether you're a tank that wants a little bit more luck of the draw or a
Magnificent
healer that needs a little
Galagio?
bit added insurance, the
cool
2 set
name.
bonuses
That's
are going to be
obviously the
unique
casino.
per role, but the 4 set bonuses are going to be unique per specialization, and there should be something for everyone.
Before we wrap up, what are you both most excited for with this update?
Oh, it's got to be Drive for me. I mean, I cannot wait to start drifting around the Undermine between queues. It's going to be my new anti-AFK activity for sure.
Going in circles, just like how we always do.
Absolutely, but this time sideways.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool, man.
So I'm excited for two things about the Undermine update. One, I finally get to be able to talk about Undermine, which is awesome. Two, players getting to experience the new take on Goblin culture. One of the things that the team from StoryCorps all the way down that we have really been excited about is really showing a more relatable story about goblins. And I cannot wait for people to see the passion that has gone into everything about Undermine. I cannot wait for people to experience from our local stories to our main campaign. There is a lot of love and care and passion put into
just looks like the best
Undermine that really
I've ever seen.
resonates throughout the whole experience. And it really was this moment of just everyone who is
like thematically
excited to work on goblins.
It's pretty cool.
We finally were able to be like, here it is. Let's do our best that we can in terms of creating this super compelling story.
Thank you guys so much for talking to me about Undermined, and thank you for tuning into WoWcast, and we'll see you next time in Undermine.
That's it, eh? That's it, no crafting professions, man. Well, I guess it was alright. Undermine revealed, WoWcast. Okay, cool. Well, I guess we just have to wait for the PTR, boys. Enjoy your weekend. See you on Monday.